Welcome our speaker, Homo Magic.
Okay, hi everyone. Today we will talk about that. My project is about that. It's a self-hosted workflow for the AI visualization, the LangGraph and the CrewAI, the GUI version. And the beginning is that I will have a short demo. Is that it's a kind of that it's a visualization system that you can drag the node and type some prompt, and you will see that AI will have the multi-step to reply your answer. And this is different from that if you are just directly using. I think everybody already familiar with that. If you are using the just GPT or cloud, that you need to manually to one by one to answer and wait for the AI return. And if you such as the agent, it will help you to do other tasks to by multi-step. And I think this project is more too old now because currently we have the AI agent now, so we can just ask the GPT agent to do that. So it's not necessary to use this maybe in the current state. Okay, the motivation of this project is because we will see that there are a lot of similar tools, for example, about that, such as DeFi or codes or N8N, that there are many similar tools. But my problem is that when I'm using these systems, I'm facing a problem is that I want to drag some node. For example, I want A node after B node. But some of the tool of the node, they cannot drag what I want. So I need to always try to work around for that. So finally, I try to do my own self. And another core reason is that because it will use the most of the solutions on the website that they need. For example, you need to put your GPT key or Gemini key or a cloud key that we need to deposit some money in that, and or some are subscriber solution that because they are platforms, so we need to pay that. So they will want we to type our credit card, but I just want to do some experimental, so I more prefer that I can use my local GPU. And because I also want to do some customization, so in the final stage, I will say that why I do this and my customization of that to put my logic. And also, I want to compatible with modern, current, the famous AI framework such as LangGraph. So I want my backend as a LangGraph that maybe I will do some other tasks in the future. Yeah, and also for myself that I can deploy on the Docker Compose and Kubernetes. But an 8N can do that also, so it's not a necessary feature. Yeah, so the first thing that because I want to do that similar tools, so I try to use the CrewAI to do a project. It's called CrewAI-GUI. And you can see that the interface is the PyQt. The interface is like the old style. the graph is more ugly. But I can do something that's similar to the what I want before. And yeah, we can drag a complex graph. And why we choose CrewAI? Because CrewAI is very easy for beginner to start up. Because if you are never touched this kind of this project, or you don't know how to starting about what is AI agent, CrewAI is a very friendly project that maybe we can see some code later that why CrewAI is so friendly. Yeah, but for CrewAI, that we will see another problem is that it will frequently update, that my code frequently cannot run. And CrewAI will have another problem. There are too many abstract wrapper, too many layers. That is hard to fine-grain control the CrewAI's content. So finally that I try to find another solution. I starting search about the different solution. For example, the first problem is that what if I want to put my project to another computer? Yeah, if I use Qt, that's very hard to run another computer because they need to install, for example, it's a PySite or PyQt. That to install that will trigger problems. Then it's we will make our host messy because as a programmer that we want our computer is more clean. That so the PyQt cannot in the container. So I need to find some container solution. So finally, my front end choose the React solution. And so because I need to separate from the front end and back end, so my design of the communication with the interface and the AI, the back end, I use the JSON to describe the graph. The graph you see that we can drag a lot of nodes. That I use the JSON to describe that. So after doing this, I got the benefit is that I can change any back end and I can change any front end. So for my newest version, that my front end finally switched to Svelte. Yeah. And so the CrewAI that the pros is that it's very easy to start your first project, but the problem is that it's too many details and it's very hard to install. For example, if we want to install CrewAI on Windows and Linux, they need a different command to install their CrewAI tool. So this is a bad for user to cross environment. So because the LangChain, the CrewAI, it's I don't think that's a good solution for the future. So I try to try another solution. It's about LangChain. And I think many of you already heard that LangChain is a famous project about that AI LLM. It's agent frameworks. But after I use for a month or weeks about LangChain, I found that there's a core problem also, same as the CrewAI. Yeah, the first is that if you are using LangChain, you will find that if you want to use such the agent, the function, you need to different naming. For example, if you are using the OpenAI API, you need to use LangChain dash OpenAI function and dash OpenAI agent. And if you are using the cloud API, you need to use LangChain dash cloud. And if you are using Gemini, you need to use LangChain dash something. So it's not a majority. That is very hard to make a programmer that I want to write one code to run on different API. And this is a very problem. And another problem is that also LangChain will update frequently. So such as that he will have new functions and the older function will deprecate, that my code will frequently out of date. I need to frequently to write my new version, just follow up the bad design. And because LangChain is non-majority, so my code is entirely cannot use anymore. I need to follow the new tools, how to the function code chain, and I cannot change the example code. So this is very frustrating. And also, it also have the same problem with the CrewAI that it have too many abstraction layers. That the LangChain, it define a lot of layers and abstract concept. And this concept, it's only for LangChain. So you can, once you are very expert in LangChain, you cannot move this experience in other frameworks because they define their own tools. So this is very bad for learning about how to use the AI. And finally, the LangChain have their new project. They will call the LangGraph. And the LangGraph is more better because it's only care about the graph. You can thinking about that. It's only handling the graphs. For example, it will do something like topological sort for you, that you can just define your node and he will do the flow for you. And that, because the graph, it's only care about the graph. It don't care about the LLM backend. You can choose any LLM API for yourself to build your flow. So in this way, it's very clean that you can plug in any LLM for yourself, such as the Olama directly. You can call your native API or OpenAI native API just in the backend. And also, because the LangGraph is more close to our concept. It's about state machine, and because the LangGraph is more closing to native mind, so that will be more better that if you use the LangGraph more, it will not bother your understanding of LLM. Your experience will be more portable, because when you are using the LangGraph, it will not define many abstractions, so your experience can move to another project. This will be more better. And because the LangGraph is very elegant design, for example, he will try to define the graph. And once, if we want to run subgraph, for example, I want to, one of the graph node to run another graph, I just define another node, a graph to make its entry point. So it's very simple to make a subgraph. For example, I can just put my backend to create a subnode to that. And because I already separate the front end and back end, so I try to, my different project will use the similar JSON structure, but use the different backend. For example, I try to the CrewAI backend or the Lantern backend, and finally it's a LangGraph backend. And I always use the same JSON structure. And so my front end also have different versions, such as the React Flow, Svelte Flow, or Python as the different version. Yeah, that's why we want to do that. And so, how can I do this? Because I finally want to write my own version. As you see that, I can define some node. It's about this node. It's maybe it's a workflow. I want to predefine workflow. For the user, will better to type in the final stage. That once I can define that if I choose the node type to the info. For the user, they can just type this, and they will have a complex graph they can run. So it's more easy for production that if we want to let someone to use your code, that you just drag a lot of complex graph, but they just need to simple typing, then it can run. That's why I want to do my solution. Yes. Okay, and because this is my core concept, and because this project, this is the Python. So I added some Python concept that my origin Python version, I used the Flask. Because Flask is more easy to starting as the backend. It's you can easily to define the entry pointer. So my front end is more easily to call the backend entry pointer. And once the solution is more mature, I switch it to Fast API, because Fast API it can handle more async solutions, more async and more high throughput that I can put on the server. For example, it's on the SaaS system that more user can use it simultaneously. Yeah. And also, it's kind of my DevOps. My project is both support, because I want to develop for myself, is that I want to hold on Kubernetes, that I can put it on cloud. But for local debug, I will use the Docker Compose. In this way, I will more frequently to update the code, because Kubernetes is very hard to deploy. It will make the debugging more slower. Yeah, so we can look some code here. Yeah. So we can watch some code later. I need to open that project. I need to wait for a minute. I need to open my hotspot. And for the LangGraph, where's the LangGraph? Okay, we can see some CrewAI, yeah. Wait, my website, sorry. Okay, sorry. And as we can see that the CrewAI is very easy for the user to code that. You can just install the CrewAI and install the tools. And then you will see that the example is more simple, that you can just define your agents and put some prompt to that. So it will have a multi-step. And you just finally call the kick a crew, it will can run. Yeah, so it's very simple for user that you can ask CrewAI to do the projects. That's why I will recommend CrewAI as a starting project, because you can easily to understand that you can just put some agent and put some task and write some prompt or define the crew. It will define a lot of prompt for you. But the problem is, as I said, that when your project want to larger, you cannot control many details because he do too many prompt for you. Yeah, so I will recommend to use such as LangGraph. But the LangGraph will have another problem, is that in the early, maybe years ago, that LangGraph and LangChain, the learning resource are too few, because I don't know why their team are not focused for user to learning. So I spend time on prepare the learning resource about the LangGraph. Wait, why cannot touch this? LangGraph learning resource. Yeah, so you will see that the LangGraph, here is the LangGraph learning resource. In the learning resource, we're more simple that, for example, if we want to see the LangGraph hello world, for example, if we want, it's very simple. You can see that this is very simple for LangGraph. You can just define the node and doing the task, and the node is the function. So this is very simple that your function, you just define, for example, if you want to use OpenAI API, you just here to put your OpenAI API to reply. So in this, that for example, if we want to create my agent version, it's very easy that I can define my personal tool and just define the graph. Then it will have the switch condition to choose which to go. Then we can do a complex agent that he can, for example, I can make the AI to decide is the project need the next step or finish. Then if the AI will need the next stage, they will go into such a loop. So the LangGraph is more elegant for this kind of the design. And also the subgraph is more simple. You will see that if you want to do subgraph, you can just define the two graph. And a graph is another graph of a node, because the graph is just called a run to start. So once you make a subgraph, you just make like the function. It's just easily to get into another graph. Yeah. So yeah, this is the LangGraph part. And back to my project. In a small, simple way that you can see our project, it's front end and back end. In my project that you need to get a clone recursive to clone out that. In my Olama, you will see that I can use the NV Docker. So in this way, I can run the AI on my NV GPU, and it's in Docker. It's very more friendly for our host to be clean, and it's very easy for deploy by such as Compose or Kubernetes. In my Kubernetes also have a solution to help user to run the GPU version that if you want to run the GPU, you need to install something that there's a guidance. Then your Kubernetes will support the GPU. So for example, it will have some GPU here. Yeah, you will support GPU. Okay. And yeah, it's in front end side is spelled. Yeah, it's in the early version is it's React, and now it's spelled, but more about the Python part. Python part that you can see that LLM function, I will try to get different LLM. So it's why I say that use the LangGraph is better, that you can choose any one of the backend or any API you want to be the function. And so we can spill the workflow part. The workflow part we will see that it's more easy that we can define as we say that, it will have the different graph. And once you can define a complex graph, and maybe some graph will go to another graph, it's easy parse by JSON. After it parsing JSON, it will able to run another graph. It's more easy. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for whole major. So 我们现在换成是中文，是因为我们现在问问题嘛？那大家有没有什么问题想问我们的那个演讲者呢？
所以你用 LangGraph 做了什么实际上的 project？就是我想知道它的应用。
它的应用，依我来讲的话，其实我们最主要其实是我现在临时找不到，就是我在另一个创业项目上，我其实是把它做不同的步骤，我找找看，我找一下有没有类似的东西。举例来讲好了，就是一般来说，你们在code GPT 的时候会拿到什么东西？比如说这个是举例来说好了，你们直接code GPT 会拿到什么？就是你们都用过 GPT 嘛，对不对？那以这个来讲好了，这是我们的 demo 范例。那比如说我们今天要卖给一个洗车的单位，那我要让他去写一个洗车的行销文，那他会做什么？我们需要去分析他的客户是谁，然后去分析他的文章的 SEO。那再来就是我们可能会需要文章的架构。那你可以看到这个是就是我的 GPTs， 就是我把它塞了非常多的指令，所以它会依序去生很多不同的东西。那再来就是说，因为他们是行销文嘛，所以比如说他可能就要拿这些文章去 po 不同的平台。那不同平台的话，它可能会有针对，就是说比如说在行销文上可能会需要去放一些给大部分的人看的东西，跟专门给小白看的东西，还有一些职业类的东西。那GPT 的话，它的缺点是你每次一打它都要跑这么多，然后你要等到最后嘛，然后它只能生一个。可是如果我把这个 prompt 拉到用那个 graph 来做的话，我是不是就可以一次就生好几个平台？比如说我就是帮它生 Facebook 平台、生 Twitter 平台、生 Threads 平台、生 Twitter。那这个其实也牵涉到，就是说，因为 Google 它对于相同的文章出现在不同平台是会扣分的，所以它需要针对不同平台去做文章内容的变化。那是不是代表说，其实我对于每一个平台，其实都还会有一个 subgraph， 就是还会有一个 graph 去写说我要怎么写？那这样的话，我是不是会有很多个 graph 要同时跑？那用 LangGraph 的好处就是说，我一次拉完之后，它可以直接生的量会比较大。那这时候就可以看说使用者要生多少的量，那我一次生出来。就可以让它放在背景后面跑，而不用像这样说，我每次都要回来 GPT 再讲一次。对，这是当初我要做这个专案最大的目的。对。
这样回答到你问题吗？谢谢。有没有谁想问问题的呢？
现在那个，因为有些人的电脑它可能没有 GPU 这么好。那如果是跑一直线的，它可能跑到某一段就想要卡断。那可是这样就要重新再跑一次。我有没有办法把中间的那一段取出来，然后再往下继续跑下去？
目前我是没有做这个功能，不过在我们的 run 里面会有历史记录，就等于是自己要人工复制贴上啦。对，就是在 server 上我会记下所有的历史记录，这样。对。
谢谢。还有其他问题呢？
框架就是现在这个框架，就是刚刚最后的 demo， 我找一下刚刚那一页。 看情况啊。我们其实最早的时候，其实在想的事情是客户可能很在乎隐私，所以我们在一开始的时候，为什么我要做 offline 的问题是我们在想说，他是不是可能是要一台主机在他的公司里面，所以最早我才需要在地端版，就是他要可以跑在自己的 GPU 上面。但是我们在后来发现，就是说客户他们其实不是很在意隐私这件事情，他们更在意就是品质。那如果要品质的话，是不是其实最好的其实就是要扣现成的 AI？那也就是说，我最好是这个专案，我在一开始做的时候，它就可以兼具是可以同时在地端跑跟扣云端的 API。那我们最终在客户试的时候，他自己其实是比较喜欢 AI， 就是 GPT 写的版本，或者是 Cloud， 或者是就反正就是看哪一家好就用哪一家，因为他们不一定对。那这样的话，其实部署在哪里就没有差了，因为比如说我放在 AWS 上面，它没有任何意义，因为它最终后端还是扣 OpenAI 的，那个 API， 所以那只是一个放软体的地方。那这样的话，其实是放在他们的，就是他们自己安装一个软体去扣那个 AI， 就是等于是说在他电脑上跑，跟我放在 AWS 上它跑，其实我 AWS 上我还要付那个 AWS 的费用嘛。那我不如我就是给他一个软体，你就是 Docker Compose 起来，然后去连那个 OpenAI 的话，那我还不用付 AWS 的费用，对。而且这还有个好处，就是说那个 prompt 就你自己持有，你不用存在我的 server， 对。
所以你们如果要去提取那个用户的资料的话，应该会使用到 Face2C。那我有点好奇，就是说在 Face2C 的运作上，会不会因为当时客户他自己的 ER model， 他 database 的设计而有所局限？
会，因为我们这个就没有管太多细节啦，因为目前都还是就可以看到说，它只是管 LangGraph 只是管上面的 graph 嘛。那你下面 reg 那些怎么做的话，其实就是被那个 reg 局限的。比如说，如果是用 llama index 的话，那它的切的就是会切的比较碎。那如果是转到好像有个是 graph 的那个，那它就会跑比较久，就是其实都会被它原本的那个 reg 局限这样子。
那我问一个好了，那刚刚你有提到是说你用那个，他会自己本身自己放很多 prompt， 他会多什么 prompt 在里面？
这是我们自己那个 prompt 是我们自己手动打的，就是比如说像这只应该是可以打开啦。我想一下啊，设定就是我们会把为什么 configure 这边？我们会把这里面的就是这好几段，它都直接变成一个节点。就等于是我们可以先帮客户拉好，那先帮客户拉好的时候，它产出来的品质就会比别人好。就是说，我们的说法是这样啦，就是你如果用现在 AI 生成的文章，大概是60分起跳嘛。那如果我们帮你加了这些步骤，它大概就会接近80分，那就会跟别人拉开一点点差距。那这样好处就是说，在 Google 上这一点点差距可能就可以影响排名，那我们就可以让它的网站在比较前面，对。所以可以看到，就是我们都会尝试放很多不一样的，像这边会有什么第二步，那这个是因为我要放在 GPT 里面才写第二步嘛，那我在那个节点我就直接拉它是第二个、第三个节点这样，对。
就还是 OK， 有了。
想要请问就是说，因为每个客户他们的需求或情境都不一样，所以我们在设计 AI engine 的时候，会去评估说，可能某客户他是要5个 AI engine， 或是另外客户要几个 AI engine。但我比较好奇的是，就是您怎么去评估，就是说我 AI engine 设计的量的那个节点，或甚至是它到底要设计到什么程度，才会比较符合这个客户他所想要的效果？想问说，就是有没有一个标准？
其实我们的标准是看最后产出的文章结果，就是其实客户不管中间这些节点，因为我们后来一开始想说是不是让客户去拉节点，然后我后来发现就是他们根本就看不懂这怎么用，所以到最后为什么我们会有一个那个最后的 sample？ 为什么我的网页我打错了是不是？大西。我现在应该可以跑起来。我现在有办法跑一个范例嘛？拍摄也没办法，我刚跑不起来，那我就等我一下啊。为什么我没办法打字？等我一下。 刚刚有一个最后的 extendability， 对，就这个，就是客户其实他不管中间这边的节点，因为他根本就不会操作。因为我们后来发现，就是他根本就不会操作，所以最终我们要做的事情就是我帮他拉好，你就是回答一个最简单的，就是你的产品是什么，然后你要什么平台。所以最后拉完之后，他为什么我会再多加最后这一步，就是为了实际上一开始我在做这整个专案，最终是其实是为了这一步而存在的，就是客户只要输入这样就好，那我后面就帮他拉好了，然后最终客户就是说他觉得好或不好，那他想要怎么调整？那他跟我们说他觉得不好的时候，我帮他回去拉节点，对，等于是用这个方式去处理掉这件事情。所以其实实际上这才是我最终想要做的东西。那后端是什么的，其实我不 care， 但是我发现其他的我都拉不到我要的形状，所以最终我受不了了，我就自己写一个这样了，对。
非常谢谢大家，因为今天时间也到了。那如果大家有任何问题的话，等一下可以这样跟我们讲者一起讨论。然后谢谢喽，等一下下个午是1点20分，欢迎大家回来。